Mill the flour. Make the udane by putting your flour into a small bowl on your scale. Zero out your scale by pressing the 0 or the tare button, T-A-R-E. You'll notice that the numbers on the scale reset and it will show 0 even though your flour and your bowl are still on the scale. Now we can pour our water portion of the udane, which would be double the amount of the flour, or it's listed in your recipe as boiling water. Pour that amount over top of your flour, watching the scale, not the pot. And mix into a paste. If you're using active dry yeast, you've already reserved 50 grams of water to prove it. So you will add 230 grams of liquid to your bowl. If you're using instant yeast, you're gonna add 280 grams of liquid to your bowl. Add your udane, and if your sugar was not already used in the proving step, such as with instant yeast, add that to your bowl as well. Finally, pour your flour on top and mix for 5 minutes in your mixer. During this time, if you would like to add in an egg and a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil or butter, you can do that. A note for my KitchenAid users: you're gonna mix for 2 minutes and then you're gonna let your dough rest for 15 to 30 minutes. This will help to soften the bran and get you to window pane faster without overworking your mixer. Mix for 5 minutes. Sprinkle in your yeast, salt, and vitamin C. The vitamin C is optional, but your bread will be softer if you use it. If you're using active dry yeast, your yeast should be bubbly. Otherwise, it's bad, and you will need to get new yeast before you make your bread, or it will be a fail. Your bread will not rise. Mix for 5 more minutes. We're done mixing. Using wet hands, grab some of your dough. We could stretch this very thin before it breaks. This dough is gorgeous. We've reached window pane, so we're gonna let our dough rise, covered until it doubles or it passes the finger poke test, which means you put your finger in there and it stays indented, but the dough doesn't collapse. If it collapsed, you overproofed, move on anyway. Your bread will be better next time if you let it rise a little less. Our dough has risen. Now we're gonna shape it. I have it out on an oiled board. I'm gonna oil my hands. This is a great loaf that if you wanted to do an open bake and have a crustier crust, right, or you just want that artisan style bread, you can shape it, let it do its second rise right here, put some parchment under it so it doesn't stick, and preheat your oven and pop it right in. But for today, since I added an egg and a little bit of olive oil, this would count as a lower sugar yet enriched dough. So you can have an enriched dough without adding a ton of sugar, okay? And It makes for soft bread without compromising our blood sugar levels. I may have overproofed this a little bit. I can see the dough's starting to tear some here. It's very hot in our kitchen. I want to say it's close to 90 degrees. It's hot. All right. I'm going to grease this. Get the extra air out of it. So those pock marks on my dough are a sign of overproofing. So common in the summer. It's very common in the summer to have overproofed dough between the heat of the mixer and the heat of your kitchen. Turn my air conditioner on. It makes the kitchen loud. So I often turn it off when I'm trying to make these videos, but really, it needs to stay on. Okay. It's got these Lodge cast iron pans. I really like them. I just butter them up. I'm gonna butter the top too in case the dough goes over. Okay. And then tuck it in there. And we're gonna let this dough rise while the oven preheats. My sprouted grain bread has risen above the pan, not by a lot. This is actually the third rise. I thought I might want to reshape and let it rise again because it rose faster than the oven could preheat. Pop this in the oven at 375, and I'm going to set a timer for about 35 minutes and check the temperature. Remember, we're taking it out at 190. Our bread came out of the oven at 204 degrees. Our 100% sprouted wheat bread has cooled a little bit, and we're gonna cut it open and see what it's like. You wanna use a bread knife to slice bread. It should have serrated edges. And you need it to be sharp. Don't cut other things with your bread knife. Just bread. Here we go. Maybe tomatoes. Okay. Look at that. It's so soft. I always cut the first piece. That's my favorite. So soft, it's fluffy. Even overproofing, watching the bread, watching the bread spread apart here, it's still a great loaf. It's soft, it's moist, it's light and fluffy. This is a great sandwich bread. You should give it a try. Let's taste our sprouted grain bread. This is so good.